Hi guys, so welcome to the second session series, Introduction to Tableau, and we are using Tableau Public, freely available. What we're going to do today is we are going to be connecting to data. In the first video, we connected to an Excel file. So you can see over here, we clicked on this for us to connect to Microsoft Excel. Now we are going to be looking at this guy over here, and we are going to be connecting to the text file. Now, what's the difference? We're going to see it. Now, check out the other video on Introduction to Tableau, connecting to data Excel, and you see there's a difference because an Excel file, this DXL file has sheets inside. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come here and I'll click on text file, and it's going to open my directory, and here you see I have CSV files. They're flat files, comma separated values. So I'm going to hit on the Superstore value here, the Superstore data set, and I click on open. Now it just opens. Pretty simple. And I guess you're wondering, but why the hell are we going to be using Excel files when we could just simply click on a CSV file and we're good? Well, there are many reasons. You're probably looking for different tables, disparate tables with different data sets you need to work with, and then create some form of relationship to, work through it. Now, this is pretty simple. This has already happened. Really nothing else. The next thing we have to look at is to typically go to our worksheet. But before we do that, I'm going to use this video to now show you how to save your file. Now, if you look over here, you would notice that we have, you can see the name over here. You can see it starting from here. You can see that we have a Tableau workbook here. Now, what does that mean? It means that if we have a Tableau workbook that we haven't saved, it's going to just have like a generic name like book 1 or book 4, depending on what it is. Now, to have that saved and to use it in future, you go over here, you see the file here, this one. To go over that, you see this button over here, this file here, and we're going to click on that and we're going to see options. So I click on this and you see there's an option, there's save and there's save as. Now recently, shout out to Tableau, the Tableau team, they made it easy for you to save your workbook locally. So if I click on save as, it gives me an option. Right, so now I can come over here and I call this a workbook. I'll probably call this, let me call this maybe the underscore CSV underscore WB. It's not that deep actually, but I just called it the underscore CSV workbook. And I choose where I'm going to save it. I just come over here and I save it. Now there's another option. If I save the Tableau, by default it saves as a workbook. But if I put a drop down, you're going to see that in this drop down, you'll see that we have two things. We have the Tableau workbook and we have the Tableau packaged workbook. Now, if I choose this very one here, the Tableau packaged workbook, I'm going to have my CSV file sort of like packaged in there. So that's what I'm going to go for. So I go for this and I go on and I save. And so it's already there. So you can see that if we look up here, we're going to notice that it's changed. It's changed, right? Now I'm going to do an extra one. So I'm going to go to the next workbook. This was the initial workbook we used in the video before now, which is connecting to Excel sheets. Again, if we look over here, we're going to see that it has a generic name, the book 3, which is the default name you would have when you create it. And again, we're going to save it. So again, I go over here, and just like I told you guys, over here, I will typically show you that this is what we're going to use. Now, I click on this and I go to Save As. Again, I get an option to change, so I just clear this and say the underscore Excel underscore workbook. Again, you can choose whatever you want to do it. And again, I want to save it again as the package workbook, and then I save. And again, if we come over here to the top here, you would notice that this has changed again. So for this video, what we have done, we have checked out connecting with CSV. You can see right over here, CSV, right? And then we went on to also save our files. Look at that. So we can always use it in future. And I did an extra where we looked at this initial file, the connection with Excel, and again, saved it. So if you're getting started with Tableau, these are a few things we're going to be looking at. You need this to get started. And in the next video, we're going to look at a few things just to keep improving on the simplicity of getting started with the Tableau public workbook.